while. Just gonna sit here for a little while. Um, see what we got. See how y'all doing today. If anybody comes through, just trying to see what's on the haps. See what's going on today. I'm not gonna be here too long. I think I'll be here for about 40 minutes. I got stuff to do today. Depends on where you are in the world. If you are celebrating any holidays or anything, it's up to you. Uh, just starting up a poll question. Throw that thing out there. If anybody come through, we're gonna see. I kind of like doing this thing kind of late, so we're gonna see if anybody comes on. Just starting things up real quick, just see what we're working with. See if anybody want to come on through. What's up, Dante? I don't know if you want to talk. Feel free. Just thought I was like starting up a question. That's all we got. It's just a poll question. Amen. Just a question. You got a comment? Feel free. If not, you're sour narrows. But if you got something to say, come on through. If not, don't be a hater. Oh, really? Where you coming from, M. Norfolk? Do tell why I'm so cool. The thing is about Diddy, so it's a simple question. So it's just a matter, do you think he'll try for bail for the holidays? That's all. M. Norfolk, where you from? Do tell. Please hit them like buttons too, by the way. I welcome anybody that comes through to hit the like. Feel free to take the poll. I'm going to be here for a minute, probably be like an hour today or less. It depends on how many people show up. I just thought I'd come through, see how everybody's doing. Well, thank you. I don't make myself difficult. I try to be real low key and keep it chill. Ain't no need to be stressing on nothing. Okay, me too. What part you from? What part? Got me curious now. In Norfolk. And actually, when I lived in Virginia, there was Norfolk, Virginia. I know there's a Norfolk out in the UK too. So do tell. I've never heard of that. Is that in the Midlands? Is that in the uh where's that by? I'm still learning. So I like that term radius of cool. Probably use that for a poem I'm working on too, by the way. So okay. Anyway, anybody that's coming through, feel free to ask questions and hit the like and also hit the membership and everything. And feel free to sign on board. Um, just start off early, taking different questions. I don't know about what that means. I have no idea. Oh, six guinea pig. Okay, okay. I see. I don't even know. Oh, wow. Wow. That's a news flash. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm really oblivious. I have seen horses. I've seen people riding horses in the streets here, so that's a new one for me. I'm used to like dogs and cats. So anyway, okay, okay. Again, I know I'm catching some people off guard because I usually, and I know that back in the states, is some people are celebrating the holidays. So you just got the subscribers. When you say that, I don't understand. Did you just hit the subscribe, or just so I understand, or did you say I just got to subscribe? I don't understand what that quite meant. If you did, I appreciate you signing up. Um, it's always appreciated. Always welcome people coming through. I do live streams. I'm probably gonna do one this weekend. Thinking about probably tomorrow and definitely Saturday. So I'm gonna make it like a today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Today's gonna be the least amount of time because I got things to do today. But tomorrow and Saturday for sure. Not Sunday though. Got plans, but definitely today, tomorrow, and Saturday is the plans. So appreciate everybody that's coming through, and thank you for coming through. As I was saying, back in the States, they're probably celebrating Thanksgiving. Some do, some don't. So, um, if they are celebrating, yeah, the holidays coming up. It feels very festive where I'm at. People got decorations and they really get into high overdrive. So you can definitely tell that it's definitely kicking into gear. Definitely. The live streams are always available too for people who come through and they want to see them. If you don't catch it live directly, you can always come through. And then, of course, like I said before, with all the membership and all the questions and everything, um, just thought I'd do something a little bit different, see how people are doing out there, and hope everybody's is healthy. More importantly, health is wealth. Remember that you got nothing if you don't have your health. I don't care how much money you have. If you don't have your health, you're gonna have problems. So we just kind of like checking everything out. That's all. So, you know, but yeah, by all means, please smash up the likes and hits and everything. And um, the question, of course, is with Diddy because he got denied for Thanksgiving back in the States. So he going to be in the tank being a stuffed turkey. And if you're watching in my videos, I'd already talked about it because I had already got the assumption that I already knew they had made up their mind. I knew he was going to get out. I don't see him getting out no time soon. What he's fighting for now is his life and his freedom in terms of like down the road. You're gonna have to do some real talking, start get off the fairyland, get off the Hollywood land, because that's not coming back. He's gonna have to do some talking to get that sentence knocked off. But anyway, in the meantime, in between time, just asking that question if you're following his case, and your thoughts. That is a real situation. I've met quite a few people with that. What constitutes that for you? What have you experienced in your life? And has it always been part of your whole life? I think there's a lot of things that triggers a lot of things. I've been through it myself in ways too. Family issues related. Sometimes, like with your family, like when we're dealing with holidays and timing or loss, people not understanding you, people not listening to you, people ignoring you, people taking you for granted. Um, it's a lot of stuff that goes on. So, um, you know, I get into some deep everything in all entertainment, despite what they say, everything in all, there's a lot of heaviness that goes on. So Um, it's part of what we do as a society. People downplay people's feelings. This stuff is it's real. It's real. People have different bouts and they have different things that they have to go through and endure. So um, it's very real. What's up? How you doing, man? You're up here nice, bright and early. How you doing? I'm gonna be here for about at least 40 more minutes. So if you want to talk, we can get into it. Just had a few people come in. I decided to come a little bit early today. Try my situation. Well, so what ended up happening is thank you. I had I forgot someone's, because my thing's linked to me. I've been through that. I've been through that. I was raised by my grandmothers. I know what that's like. And then having to go through that is tough. Yeah, he told Bob Ryan reported. I'm not the biggest Bob Ryan fan, but I do respect what he's accomplished, but I'm not big on Ryan. But uh I felt that way. Well, no, no, if you're a good soul, it'll come out. People will respect it. Not everybody's out trying to get you. It seems that way, but believe me, there are hands of angels that are watching you. They're watching you. Believe me. We go through a lot, but you don't never want to change what you are. If you're a good soul, stay a good soul. If you're a bad soul, you want to work to be a better soul. Wherever you are, don't change who you are because the karma is real. And if you're putting good energy, it'll find you. We just go through our own situations, ebbs and flows, but it will find you. And I am sorry to hear that. You know, I've been through that. Like I said, I was raised by my grandmothers. So I know what that's like to go through without that loss. You do wonder what you go through the press. And respect to Ted too, who respect to Ted going through the first year without his mom. I always talk about because these things all kind of intersperse, but we all have personal reflections of what we've been through. I used to live near there and I had a lot of bad episodes of Walmart. Some things were cool, some were. Oh yeah, I'm giving you, much respect, man. Going through loss, the holidays, it's tough. Stuff be hitting you. And I don't I don't play with emotions. I'm very serious. Oh, what are you in? What kind of school you in? If you don't mind me asking. It's important to get your sleep and eat right and take care of yourself though, because that's a reality. I would tell anybody that. You gotta take care of yourself. Yeah, Ted, oh man, me and Walmart, they dug all in bags, they harassed, I mean, all kinds of this. Meanwhile, I used to go to Walmart and see people steal stuff. And they go in there weighing like 110 pounds soaking wet, then come out looking 220 because they got TVs and all kinds of stuff. Walmart's always been full of it. And they used to get sued all the time for racial discrimination, all kinds of stuff. So their reputation is not that good. Just saying. Just saying. So that's why I call them Whackmart or Wally World. If you experience Walmart, we got a lot to talk about. I got horror stories about them. Yeah, he is, and he owns the Denver Broncos. I mean, he was uh, Russell Wilson's former own boss. Yeah, he is Sam Walmart, and they're six of the wealthiest people in the whole world. But all those weapons they got and flags and all kinds of stuff they do. Yep, they middle of the road. Very, very. When you come out and say that you are not going to promote equality, when you come out and say that you're done, you know, what's Prince Henry's? I know nothing about that. I know Prince Harry. I know nothing about that. Is that a school? I don't understand. But anyway, Walmart's got a long line of. They've done they've been embarrassing. but they middle America. What can you say? What can you do? 75% saying Diddy will not try for bail. I guess he gonna be like a batter. He gonna keep trying to batter up till he just gets told, well, he got money to spend. I don't know. I don't know. I think that he's gotta know that this ain't gonna end well. He's gonna keep trying. I did a video about that. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. I was watching Pat Riley with Mark Miller and Udonis who has them. But they won. They beat Charlotte, but they're not the same. And I did the video where I talked about Bam, my bio's got to get back in the box. They're bringing everybody. They morphed into a junior Whopper version of Golden State. That's not Heat culture. Not everybody shooting threes. They don't have no identity no more. And Spo's caught trying to play catch up. They can't. It's a great story about going to the finals, but they aren't consistent. So that's the sad part. It is over right now. Yeah, well, I don't know what's the grade level. I don't know what's up. I mean, you got to explain it to me. Because if I look it up, it'd be, I mean, I told truth about heat culture. Was that the one? I spoke that out as a fan about what I saw. I don't like you keep always asking me about Tyler Hero, and I tell you all the time, yeah, him and Duncan Robinson. I mean, Jimmy Buck. See, Bam and Jimmy are what I call low first, high second tier players. That's not a diss. It's just they're not alphas. And if they had somebody who took that weight off of them, they'd be dangerous. Then you might have a 3-year window where you run and you win a chip or two. But way they're constituted now, let me put it to you like this. Bam and Jimmy Butler combined are not Dwayne Wade. They don't have D Wade in them. They had a D Wade with those two peak and prime. Duncan is streaky. And see, the thing about it with him, he had moments against Denver in the finals, but he's just too streaky. He's a bench dude. He's one of those kind of guys when he's going, he's going. But he's not an asset they can, he's just too inconsistent. And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I've been seeing what I've been seeing. But what kind of move can you make? Because you'd have to almost Bam would be your only tradable asset. Nobody wants Terry Rozier. Jimmy Butler's almost on his last legs. Tyler Hero, you can get something for a dunk, and you really can't. The Jokic cat is nice. They don't really, they got a couple pieces, but they ain't got that Pat Riley needs to reel in that big fish, and he can't. I told you, the Braun thing. He is because he's happened to do something he's not supposed to do. So, that's he's coming out of his post. He's supposed to have been an updated Lonzo Mourning. He wasn't supposed to turn into um AD or Victor Wemby. That's not his strong suit, but he has to do that to save face. Your dad is Deadpool. Okay. I don't understand that, so you gotta explain it to me. There's a lot of the jargon I don't understand, but I'm learning. But yeah, it's always tough to talk about your team in negative lights, but I don't, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. They're not they're just another team. And to be honest with you, they're in the sixth to eighth slot. They'll win some games, but I'm not gonna kid myself, you know. There's about 4 teams that are legitimately ahead of them in the East. And if you're not one of the top 4 teams in the East, you're not playing for a chip. You're playing for an early trip. They should, but I don't know where they're gonna go to do it, you know. I know the kind of I wouldn't mind if they had a LaMelo Ball. I like LaMelo. I just did a video about him. It's coming out. I wish they had a player like that. They need somebody with some, some energy because they just don't get it every night, and that's the problem. So that's why I don't foresee them being much of a, like I said, it's not much of a threat. Yeah, I do. I like how he shoots. I like his drive. I think he belongs in the same conversation with John Morant and with Zion healthy. I like him. I like LaMelo. I like how he scores because I think they suck. The reason why you don't like LaMelo is because he plays for a garbage team. Can't tell me he ain't surpassed what his daddy proclaimed him to be. He's averaging 20 plus points a game, rebounds. They just stink. If Michael Jordan wasn't 85, he'd come down there and try to team up with him. They might could win 10 games. You think he's in a situation, he's in a he if you didn't have Wi-Fi and cable and access, you think he was in Beijing because that's how bad Charlotte is. Yeah, I saw the movie. Oh, okay, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not aware of it, but I've heard about the movie. I want to say, yeah, it came over. Yeah, LaMelo's an is dude. And I like Jalen Green too. I did a video about the Rockets too. I like Jalen. I like some of the the cats that don't get seen enough. The person seems kind of legit so far. There've been some legit conversation. I know if it was trolling because they ain't said nothing that's been off the wall. Hasn't been off the wall yet. Nothing has gone off the rails. Deadpool is real. I don't know why I was getting mixed up with that Will Smith movie though, but that is real though. No trolls so far. I had one person earlier, but that didn't last long. Yeah, Dalton. Okay. Okay. Just checking stuff out. I know he wouldn't because he's too inconsistent. Why would he? What reasonable Mike McCarthy has to suck it up. He wouldn't sign him either because he doesn't run fundamentally the offense. Their timings are off. The receivers running bad routes. He's throwing the ball, trying to. He doesn't read well. And he gets himself in a bad jam. When a man falls asleep for 3 quarters and throws up the stat pad the last 4 minutes of the game when he's down by 60 points, it makes it look worth 30. And he's got people thinking, ooh, that's what he do. And he's too inconsistent. He played his best the first. I will give him this. His first 2 years, especially that first year when he got Romo, he played like his life was on the line. Like that Dak ain't came back after this second year. If he played like that, the half of that defense. Well, I'm gonna tell you a story that I think. Well, I'll tell you what I know. The defense didn't quit because they don't like Dak. That's what I think. They told Stephen A. Smith that a year or so ago they didn't trust him. Now they showed it. But they don't have anything they respect. They don't respect Jerry Jones. They don't respect McCartney. They can win some games if they choose to. They're playing it if we feel like it. What? What's the question? What's the what? What's your what? Oh, yeah, they don't wanna play for him. They don't like that. Michael Parsons, they don't. I can tell. And the thing is, Mike McCarthy has no respect. Did you ever hear the story about when Stephen A was in Vegas, is about a year and a half ago? Oh, yeah, that can be tough for you psychologically, no doubt. They were in Vegas for MMA fight or something. Stephen A was there, and he met with Mike. The defense came to him and said, "We got our end covered, but we don't know about him." And then you don't remember that clip last summer, not this past one, but last summer when he threw a pick in the priest in they were scrimmaging, and they said they cussed him out. And they said, "This is what you always do," because he threw a bad pick in the. That's was 2023. So I know there's tension there. Diggs don't. I know they don't like him. But the problem is they can't get nothing that's even a half as good as him. That's the problem they run into. If Cooper Rush was halfway legit, but they don't trust him. And we know Trey Lance is gone. So they're gonna be looking. Maybe winning that game against Washington may backfire on them. Probably shouldn't have won that game. We'll see though. So yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, M Norfolk, yeah, Tourette's is real. It's a lot of psychologically to take in, to digest. Gonna be a tougher game than you think because Tua's playing pretty well. Green Bay gots to win it though. They gots to. It's a gots to win. Miami can win the game. Green Bay gots to win the game. But that's how the Packers have to keep up with Detroit and Philly. They gotta win. Miami, realistically, outside chance the playoffs, they done either way because Tua is one good hit from being done. Gotta remember something. You all on borrowed time. They really on borrowed time. So, you know. But if the Packers win, yeah. I mean, ain't nothing. The AFC is pretty much self-explanatory. It's gonna come down to Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. That's really as far as I'm concerned. I know some people want to throw Pittsburgh in there. I'm not buying it. So it's really a three-man teams in the AFC. NFC is a different ball game because if Green Bay, Detroit's the front runner, and then Philly. But somebody like the Packers, if I bought into the Vikings, somebody could get got. So I don't know. So still a lot to go. So it's injuries and but I think the Packers can win that game. They supposed to. They're supposed to, you know. Because I couldn't because Miami's too up and down. And again, they're not gonna get to play New England this weekend. If Jordan Love don't turn the ball over, that's a tough game for Miami. He don't make a lot of mistakes there. It could be a long day. But these games are not that good today. Nobody wants to see Dallas and the Giants. And then as far as uh, Chicago, Detroit, Caleb Williams, their season's about done. Okay. And you're gonna be ready for the draft. You and Ice Cube gonna be ready for the draft. Gotta get your quarterback. Probably gonna get your new head coach. It's gonna be a lot of rebuilding for the Raiders. If y'all could just play more than just one quarter, because y'all always good for one quarter where you put up 10 and then you just get smashed after. It's gotta be tough being a Raiders fan, you know. And I don't like what like I said, they're playing like a low budget team, which, you know, my thoughts on quarterbacks coming out. You talking about from college to next year? Is that what you're talking about? Give me one if that's what you mean. For yes, one for yes if you mean in the draft next year. If that's the question, um, you know what I always say. I say the same thing all the time. It's all what system you get in. I can't really gauge nobody. Mahomes caught lightning in the bowl getting Andy Reid. It may not have happened like that. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. If he doesn't play with Baltimore style, it all depends on where you go. Caleb Williams is finding out the hard way about the Bears. Even though they do have a bit of a better receiving core, they just never have the right person to understand handling the mechanics of it. You saw what happened with Herbert, wasted 3 or 4 years not having the right coach in tune to him. So you got to have all the components right. I can think that these guys look good one way, but if they get the wrong system, the wrong coach, the wrong play call, then they don't look like much. And one thing you've seen with the NFL, look at Sam Darnold. He's got a comeback story. Geno Smith comeback story. Baker Mayfield comeback so far. Regardless, I don't know how good those guys really are. The NFL is watered down, and they do allow you to look better than what you are. Jameson Winston too. So sometimes you got to get second, third, fourth progressions. It's complicated to say that because could have told you point blank 15, 20 years ago. I can't tell you that now. It's really all based on the system that these guys come into. And it's hard to say this guy's, because like CJ Stroud, for instance, with Houston, right? They're not finishing properly. A team that can win the division and be effective, but just not. I don't know. I mean, they're a frustrating team. How they lost that game to Detroit last week, you get 5 turnovers on Jared Goff and you lose. Then you play Tennessee, and Leaving has been looking better for Tennessee, but you can't sack no quarterback no 5, 6 times and don't win the game. So I got a problem with that. And some of it is his fault. Because even the game against the Bills that they won, he threw a bad pick or two. He missed a couple. He misses some plays over the middle. He just don't psychologically pick up on. So um, I'm watching what they're not doing. So yeah, oh yeah. But he was a defensive minded coach. That's all he could do. Because he went to the Philadelphia Eagles, he stunk up Randall Cunningham, and he didn't do much as a head coach. But as a guru on the sidelines, that's okay. Everybody ain't gonna be Bill Belichick. Everybody ain't gonna be Bill Parcells. Everybody ain't gonna be a coordinator. Some guys are meant to be head coaches. Some guys are meant to be coordinators. There's greatness in both. You saw with Charlie Weiss and Romeo Cornell. Everybody wasn't meant to be Belichick. Know your position. Know what you can do best. They finally caught up to Saquon Barkley. That's what my thoughts are. Old Salami looked like he was going to get fired. Jalen Hurts looked like and Jalen Hurts is still not 100%. He's getting near 80. But they realized they got talent. And Saquon Barkley been playing like he got out of jail since day one. So they finally caught up to him. They're the second best team in the NFC. They could be a problem for Detroit. Depends. If their defense shows up, watch out. But Saquon's playing out his mind. He's playing MVP level. So I think the Eagles definitely it finally matched up to the hype because they got a lot of talent. He stunk in New England before Brady came because him and Drew Brees weren't not Drew Brees, Bledsoe. Him and Bledsoe weren't exactly knocking it out the box. That Brady factor changed his trajectory forever. And sometimes that happens. Just because you're great as being a head coach is a whole different animal. And you got to remember that you can handle Lawrence Taylor. No, the Bills don't need him. I told you what Belichick would be effective, but you ain't hear me though. I already told you that where he'd be really effective, replacing shenanigans. That's where he'd be effective. He go one way and win, Frisco. Are you kidding? He'd give Debo. They got enough talent there. He would utilize. It would make him look like a guru. And I think him and Purdy could be effective. I just say that Frisco would be the ideal spot. They are a team that's close to a Super Bowl win. They have top tier talent. They've been in 2 Super Bowls. They've been in multiple NFC Championship games. That would be a destiny for him. You heard it here first. If it comes to pass that shenanigans gets us go, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? He didn't choke 2 Super Bowls. He blew that NFC Championship game against the Rams. Why wouldn't they? I know he was under quarterback against Philadelphia. Probably Mike McCarthy. Because the more and more I think about it, and as ludicrous as it sounds, nobody sane is going to go to Dallas unless you get another puppet. You got a guy that's got a Super Bowl win. He'll use that win against Washington to keep him in Dallas. Watch. He ain't going to go to the Bears. The Bears are good on special teams. Their defense. Caleb needs time. I don't think that you can really do a lot there. They need time. It needs timing. That's like making a stew, making a big soup. It needs time to get the ingredients. And he ain't gonna go back with a year, 2 year quarterback. You know, the discipline of him would have been effective. They beat us. Remember, the only thing that's hurting Washington now is that loss to uh, Washington. Things, but the offense is there with him and Burrows would be a good fit. They need discipline. They do need discipline. That's the it's Cincinnati and Frisco would be my two picks for him. Because Joe Burrows would be his Tom Brady. And Burrows needs to be challenged. He's not being challenged. They talk too much yak and they're not a good team and they leave too much on the table. And that's why they keep losing. And they lose every week in games they should win. They do something sloppy and dumb. Burrows is need of a poised coach, though. That's a fact. Because Burrows is that dude that you're going to think he was just too cool and he didn't get that chip. He got into one Super Bowl. Who's going to end up like Justin Fields? Who? Who? If you're talking about Caleb Williams, if you're talking about Caleb, that's a possibility. Because you don't go to Chicago to be a superhero quarterback. You go there to take a pounding, and they never get the right side of the ball taken care of for you. So if you're talking about that, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a possibility. And then get out of there in 2 or 3 years and go to the Raiders and then have a Hall of Fame career. Because that's the kind of mess that happens. Chicago don't know about no quarterbacks. Detroit didn't either. That's why when you get Dan Campbell, you bring the right pieces. You see what it does for Jared Goff? Does wonders. I'm just saying. That's why when Ted asked that question about the quarterbacks coming out, what I see depends on the system you get. Depends on the system and the quarterback. Jared Goff did go to a Super Bowl with the Rams, and McVay did get him in there. And now he's looking good with Dan Campbell. Other than that, sometimes he look like he can be top tier or he can look like he can be below. So all depends. Okay. 10 votes so far. 50-50. Okay. 50-50 on Diddy. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's what I like. I figure he's still polarized enough to get that. I remember that mess. I remember all the cats getting in on it and him talking. I remember Pat Summerall be all drunk. Pat Summerall sounded like a Frank Sinatra record label. I mean, it was a good year. He was slurring. The stuff you'll never ever get a chance to see again. They'll never have that again. They were the Rat Pack up there. They were up there with the food and drinks. Pat Summerall be up there stuck slurring like, oh. That's what he got paid for. That way he became, yeah. I think it was Wilt Chamberlain. Somebody dissed him too. Madden got bigger. Pat Summerall was drunk. Pat Summerall was slurring words. He up there drinking scotches and stuff. He'd be up there. I liked his voice too, but Pat Summerall would be up there all slurred. He was up there gone. But they had a great chemistry though. I used to watch those games. He had a cool voice too. But yeah, he probably putting them fists away, putting that muscatel away left and right. That was a different era. Stuff they used to do in the booth, you know. I think we haven't really even had the ultimate booth freak off. You talk about, I'm sure there was some freak offs in them booths, somebody, because they had too much fun. Some of them cats be just having too much fun. But Pat Summerall be hitting the booze though, you know. So I don't know. Yeah. Perico did the Sunday night. He didn't do he was mainly he was on the booth with he was good. Like I said, listen, as far as professionalism goes and articulate, you know, he was pro's pro. I wish the freaky side of him had have been more because he was kind of dry, you know. He was very Canada dry, but articulate. I don't know. I know they had the ESPN book, and I know he was touchy feely, just like Chris Berman. All of them used to soft talk trash. I don't know if he didn't freak off in the booth though. He's well covered though. He must have like some real big videos on somebody because everybody knew about Tarico, Mr. Italian. Berman talked trash too. They all caught off talking smack. Chris Berman, yeah, there was a book. You have to, if you Google it, it's an ESPN book, and there was a whole lot of stuff I heard. Um, it's gonna be kind of like what you had. It's gonna be some extremes. He can't do but so much though, because he's not gonna be able to pass everything. I think he wants to come across tough and heavy handed and run this and run that. Some things I think it's going to impact everybody. Let me tell you like this: the people that support him, they in for a rude awakening. The people that didn't already know what to expect. So it's going to be some. It's going to be like a Diddy. You go get this, you get this, you get take this, take this, take that. You're going to see that everybody ain't going to be happy. It's going to be some much along craziness that he was before. They like him because he comes across like this bully tough guy, but his agendas, they're wild and far fetched. Of course he gonna try because like I said, like LeBron, Charlene, he gonna do like LeBron, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. He gonna because he got the money. And he thinks maybe he can, but what he better do is start snitching. He better start thinking long and hard and get assets straight and start to who he's gonna use as a person to get him some the time that'll be like 15 straight, maybe 20. That'll work in his favor while he's locked down. Because if he goes in there thinking that he gonna just run it like he's running a session at a headquarters or something, he got another thing coming. I don't think they'll life him up, but I think that if he plays his cards right, he'll get like a 20 or less. But he can be flex if he. I already know. I seen it. There's nothing for me to really say. First of all, I'm not gonna pick on the person that's wounded because to me that's cheap. That's cheap. She was in over her head on a lot of ways. She was put in a pressure cooker situation that really didn't have enough time to really get everything together. So she was kind of thrown into the wolves because Joe Biden had fell off, and and she was the next in line. That was kind of like you trying to go to the next man up. Except the problem was, she got a better chance she comes back. But I think she said it. Now, what the direct details of it, but she knows everything. Um, she knows all the stuff what happened with Andre Harrell and Diddy and Albie shit that the business she was in on it. She was an accessory to it, so she couldn't in a way she would incriminate herself in a way she's she and I do think she got taken out allegedly. I do, I do. She knew too much. I think so. What happened with R. Kelly is that he wanted to get his masters back and he questioned the money. They made an example of him. When people ask me, like I hear Michael Francesi, who I watch his show, and they say, "Well, how come they got away with this for all this time and why this?" Because it's simple. If you play go long, get along, and the money ain't funny, they're not gonna come snatch your wig off. But the minute the money go funny, you start asking why and who and where, that's when they snatch you. It's simple as that. Diddy went after the liquor and they snatched his wig off. They think you want to be black? Okay, we're gonna treat you like a he got see, it's racial in that regard because he got treated like when they were done with him. R. Kelly got because he wanted about the money. And they were through putting money on him. His Christmas record came out in 2016. They were through with it. He was. Well, they wanted to put it there. Well, yeah, he had to get down with Clive. So first of all, let's go back 30 years ago. If you know anything about credit card budgets, he had gotten they had a credit budget of like I think 70 million to start Bad Boy. Clive put the money up. What you think? How you think you get that? Especially when you don't produce, you ain't a singer, you ain't a rapper, you ain't a musician. Got to do something strange for the change. But he happened to connect with Andre Herrera. He knew how to put people together in places. Yeah, I believe it. And I'll be sure it was the Pond dude because, you know, and you'd be surprised when you move up in rank and file, Puffy start off in the mailroom. And if you ever see the video Nail It to the Wall with Stacey Lattisaw, he was dancing without the mailroom. So he blew up. But Andre Harrell took a real liking and a shine to him. You can figure what that means. It never do. Because those two turkeys who were down with Trump got passed over for the cabinet job by that other dude. That was hilarious. Thank you, Ted. I have to do a video about them two turkeys, Donald and Tim Scott, how they got passed over for the other cat. That's hilarious. It never do. People don't understand it. You be up there standing next to him talking about, yes, the boss. Yes, whatever you say, boss. Yeah, boss. And then he picked somebody else out the blue. Trump let it be known with that. That was a great example. Yeah, he thought he was all lined up and didn't get nothing. All lined up. Same thing with the Donald dude, all lined up. Trump be having them talking crazy, reckless, and then what happens? Gives the job to somebody else, you know? That's why people who don't have no love for themselves, you in for a rude awakening. Try to tell you, it don't end well. And there's a lot of them too. Yeah, Daniel Cameron, I can't stand that turkey. Matt Gers, Matt Gers, Matt Gers. Remind me about Matt Gers because I know Matt Geis. Byron Donald was the worst though. He was horrible. So I'm trying to think about the cat that just got that job by Trump. Oh, Matt Gers. Oh yeah, the R. Kelly of the freaky freak. He gonna be okay. He gonna be okay. Matt Gers kind of reminds me of Paul Ryan, who quit. Because when cats realize what Trump's about, they don't keep the job. They get up out of there because he too crazy. You know, whatever reason they turn him down. That happened the last time. That's why I don't. I get asked the question, what I think is gonna happen. They could be more along the lines of what happened the last time. And those cats end up getting locked up. They get in trouble. He ends up getting himself in trouble, and stuff always happens. You know, and they can't even explain how someone is impeached twice. She got her wake up call. I know she's basically trying to hang on YouTube. Well, she tried to say too much, and they wouldn't let her in Australia. See, when she was talking about black folks all the days, they'd have gave her a passport to the moon and back. They not done with her. I think she'll come back and run. I think she'll set herself up for 2028. I'll tell you why. Because there won't be Trump anymore, and they will eventually have to have another woman unless they come up with something on the offset. I think it will. I think that she has to have a more dynamic person with her though. That VP that she chose out of Minnesota was sleepy and stiff and boring and a jive turkey. So I think if she's smart, she brings somebody with some spark. She should have had a female with her. She should have had somebody that was left field with her. He didn't beat his case. They gave him a pass because he's in the White House. Let me correct that. He didn't beat his case. They made it privilege. No, Rudy gonna have to pay. Rudy got to still see. He treating him like a special class citizen. Rudy doesn't get that luxury. And they should pay them royally. He lied. Trump should be held accountable too. Y'all don't want me to ever tell the truth because if I told what I feel, y'all may not gonna like it. Trump should be locked up with Diddy. Everybody knows that. He broke the law and he should be held accountable for that. Oh, I know. They've been doing that though. Depending on where you were. I had to deal with that when Obama was in with some folks. I had where I used to live, they had open Klan Day driving down the street with Confederate flags. And that was 2012. Trump just made it more fashionable for them to really do it more broader. But it's been that way. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that somehow who's in did they all of a sudden became less. Cause there's always stuff that goes on. Oh yeah. So 2012 I was working in a restaurant and this was about one or two. So you're looking out the windows and these cars are driving down the road. Like, like when you have a parade or something. White car drive by, they had Confederate flag, they had a motorcycle gang, they was driving down. My buddy used to live in the town where they had all that because Trump had a rally there when he came in 2016. So the motorcade, they came down the way. I saw this one afternoon, 2012. This when Obama was in. I don't want anybody just saying that, oh, it's because Trump, because this was like going down then. So, but when Trump got in, then they were more regular with their mega hats and flags and all that stuff. And they got an upper lip to come talk to you. But no, this stuff ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. That's why I don't get into it. When I do talk, and I tell folk all the time, I say it's more racist than you think it is. They just they got the green light because of the whole mega agenda and all the other stuff. But they also have, been doing it. It's been there. It's been there. Depends on where you live. Depends on where you live. Nothing has changed in that regard. So please continue to hit the likes and subscribe. And also please continue with the poll. It's 50-50 for Diddy. Okay. We got a 50-50 Diddy poll. I got 8 more minutes before I'm going to conclude because I'll be on for 1 hour. I might come back on later. I'll definitely be on tomorrow and Saturday for everyone coming through. So, well, this is the thing. What's up? How y'all doing? What's up, Jay Will? Tell me you like him because you know, uh, your tax bracket. Okay, I'll give you that. Tell me you like him because, you know, um, your personality or something. But don't tell me you like him because you believe in his politics or his principles or his morals or his character. This is just a lot of gimmick and a lot of hot air. So that's all it come down to. You know, he's kind of like Jerry Springer for politicians and people like that. Oh yeah, if you do, I tell people if they do, you know, if you do. That's kinda how I look at him, and Jerry Springer was addictive. Yeah, well, I talked about the history of it because it's with the Pilgrims and the thing about in totality and then Black Friday. Thank you. You know, history. Gotta do your history lessons on that because people up here celebrating what exactly? A lot of holidays is demented as all get out, you know. And I think that when you learn stuff, you put in perspective, context. But also, people don't even celebrate it anyway because they are so busy bad mouthing the homeless. They're so busy studio gangstering, thugging, and dissing people who don't have it. So they don't even understand the meaning. They want to go hop. They got the nerve to diss the homeless, and then Black Friday they want to get in a tent and be outside in the cold with a porta porta pot and fight people in line for some overpriced gadgetry, which you can get every day. Make it make sense. So, you know, I don't understand the logic. When you can just do it on your phone, you ain't even got to go through all that bother to be out in the cold. But anyway, that's how I'm looking at it. I think you give every day. You tell people you love them, you show them respect, You put things in perspective. You ain't got to pick one day to act like you are human and got a heart. Well, it depends if a guy's taking a pounding. I mean, obviously, some fighters, the eyes are cut. You can't have a guy, uh, I had seen something about Mercy Maine. I did actually see something because all that sounds very familiar. I did see The Haven, Marcy Maine. Yeah, The Haven, Jay Z's cat. You talking about that? Yeah. Well, there've been some guys that they wobbling, you know, and I think nowadays it's so physical. You don't want to take the chances, especially if a guy got an uppercut and you can't see it. Well, ain't no dude come from no Italy and discovered nothing when people been here. Especially when he got more in common with Jeffrey Dahmer, which they don't talk about because he was cannibal. They don't tell you that part. And how they gonna know the first black man to die in the Boston Tea Party was Cypress Addicts? They've been sending that one forever. They suck. They got beat the Giants. They got some turkeys hoping they get the last wild card position. But if I'm them, I tank. They suck. They don't deserve no playoff. The way they've been losing this year, why would you want to go to playoffs for what? And do what? Your quarterback ain't coming back to next year. You got no running game. You can't stop the run. And you only beat Washington because the kicker had sore ribs and he poochied. That's the only reason why you won that game. It will. They will. They will. They will. Yeah, because Danny DeVito's their quarterback. I know his name is Rich, but I call him Danny DeVito because he's much when Danny DeVito be doing those flips, uh, that's not gonna happen. Don't get it twisted. Dallas is not gonna go off and win no Super Bowl. They suck too bad at home. Meathead will lose another game. Yeah, some bad kickers. Yeah, well, I don't think it's gonna be a big score. Well, I'll tell you this much: the Cowboys suck, though. If Jay Z gets in some trouble, and he is an interesting case with they keep talking about his money and his net worth and who he associate with. Yeah, yeah. Keep your eye on it. Don't be so quick to write it down because these things start off kind of small. I watch the things they say. Watch how they kind of build up what they want to build up, and then when it hits, bam. So keep your eye on it. That's what I would say, Charlene. Keep your eye on it. If he's focused, if he has to average like 150 yards a game. If that's the case, then yeah. But it depends on how. First of all, they're going to win the division. Okay, that they play the Giants when they got Dallas coming. They sweep Dallas and Washington. There's chances he may or may not play big minutes. They win what they're supposed to. It's going to be kind of tricky. No, Dallas sucks though. That's all we're saying in English. I don't care what Ted say. They suck. They stink. And Meathead should have been fired, but he probably going to end up staying because nobody else wants to coach that team. Nobody sane wants that job. So I think I'll be off. I got about another 5 minutes. I'm gonna talk for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Very true. That's why I'm a Diddy Gene Deals. I'll cut about Diddy now. Now what happened with Diddy is that Diddy with the liquor and then Cassie's lawsuit and all that stuff. Then the video came out. All that was done in succession. Then of course they went to his place and raided it. That's what happened. Those are after facts because Gene Deal had been talking, Jaguar had been talking, but it was that liquor and then that Cassie lawsuit and the video, all that. That one was kind of like all came around. The Jay Z thing is more methodical because you got to kind of pick spots. But then the one thing that got the Jay Z thing going was, I think, was it Eve was talking about him She subtly said how he dissed female rappers. That's the subtle one. Then it leads to something else. That's how they do. They find a little crevice, then they open up into a little bit of a yo-yo, and then it goes into a wall. Watch out for that fire. What about Aaron Rodgers? He done. There ain't nothing to think about. He need to retire. He's stat padding like LeBron, looking old and busted. And nobody wants to take him on as a starting quarterback. Let's just keep it 100. He's done. Stick a fork in him. 3 ugly games. 3 ugly games. One of them is so ugly, they shouldn't even have it on TV. They should pay you to watch that mess, and you know which game I'm talking about. The last game is gonna be entertaining, but whoever wins that game controls their fate. The Lions is like a trap game, but they finish like I think they'll be alright. But they still 3 ugly games, though, because I think all 3 teams should win. They play their best football, they'll spank who they playing against. But that ain't saying much, though. That ain't saying much. Not saying a lot. Not that memorable. That's all I got to say about Aaron Rodgers, though. I think I pretty much said that. And yeah, Charlene, Choke No Joke's been talking. He's been talking about but they all connected though. Well, there's a lot of parity in NFL, as you know, but it's that you're in a tough division. Minnesota's 9-2. We don't know how good they really are, but they're 9-2, and then goes Detroit 10-1. So again, there's a lot of situations. Now, if Detroit or Michigan, I mean, if Detroit or Minnesota get ran off, one of those teams could come out of there. So it's still some football to go, but I think that's a tougher division going. We don't talk about those other whack divisions. If you're talking about the NFC West and uh, NFC Central and AFC South, no, that mess don't count. You ain't worried about Atlanta's a nice, fun story. No threat. The West, Seattle beat Arizona. That was impressive with their defense, but I don't trust them big picture. 49ers are just too hurt and banged up, and they pretty much should tank this year. I don't think they can do anything. They'll win a couple more games, but they're not that good this year. Injuries caught them. So it all depends. No, no, no. Because you always worry about Mahomes and KC. In Buffalo, you can get with Josh Allen. After that, what else you got? Not really. I'm not the biggest Sean Payton fan, but he knows how to coach up offense. And the Broncos do got some talent. And they're the kind of team in a couple years they could be a real threat. Think they need another year after this year because they still got growing pains. Whoever catches on out of the Broncos and the Chargers, that will be Kansas City's problem in a couple years. Think KC got this year and maybe next year to run roughshod. Yeah, yeah. They got better quarterbacks. The NFC, Detroit, Philly do look like top tier teams. But make no mistake about it. I can agree with you, but they're flawed though too, because Detroit can be had. You know, I seen a couple things, and the same thing with Philly. But Herman Moore's borderline. I'd say get in, but he did underperform with the Saints, but he's legit to coach you up. He obviously knows how to coach you up, but he did underperform with the Saints. He should have had at least a couple more, another ring and another Super Bowl. He's forgotten because of Megatron. And the Lions sucked back then, and so that's gonna kinda and plus the competition and other receivers were there's a few factors. They stunk. Chad Chad, because Cincinnati Chad was beasting, and he had the personality. And you gotta remember something, it ain't just because you got the yard, you gotta have some personality to sell you too. Chad moved people more. I liked Herman more, but you kind of forget about him. When Megatron came along, you forgot about him. Personality can sell you a lot. Okay, so every time I got about 3 more minutes before I'm gonna call it a day. Chris Carter. Come on now. Now that's not even funny. Much as and I'm not even big on CC personally, because he gets on my nerves on TV, but come on. He's one of those kind of receivers. If it wasn't for the Mosses, Rices, and Harrisons and T.O.'s, he'd be that dude because he belongs. He had moments where he should have been, the next level of the top tier. But come on. When they say all you do is catch touchdowns, he ran crazy fade routes, slants. Carter was a bad dude. Herman Moore never was scary like Chris Carter. So, okay, I got 4 more minutes. So, 4 more minutes before I'm going to call it a day. Been over an hour. I may or may not. Tonight it's 25%. I'll come back later, but I'll definitely be on tomorrow and Saturday. So, all the heads that want to come through. Because tomorrow I'm going to have a poll question about Drake and Kendrick. I think I'll do that one tomorrow, which is one of the most stupidest lawsuits I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Chris Carter. Chris Carter. We don't, I wouldn't even say nothing if I was you. If you hadn't said nothing, I wasn't going to say nothing. If I was you, I'd come in here with a bag over my name. Being a Sixers fan is one of the worst things you can claim today. You blow the team up and you hope Nick Nurse wants to come back because it sounds like I like your rookie. Your rookie might get rookie of the year. I like him. But Paul George, Joel Embiid, you're gonna lose Maxi if you don't get this right. No, I like he's all right. Again, let me tell you something. Depends on what team he comes to, what he picks up. He's good enough to sell tickets, and I do think there's gonna be like him and Caitlin Clark's America's Sweetheart couple. Does that mean that he gonna be the savior? I don't know about all that. Depends. It depends. I don't think Philly needs another shooter. They need somebody that's reliable. They need dependable. That's their problem. And they need somebody that can, be dependable. So the Sixers got to pretty much unload everybody. Paul George old, and he ain't gonna have like a 2 more years tops. If you don't get right, you're gonna lose Maxi in a year or two. And Joel Embiid's on the downside. He's 32, but he's getting to be an old 32. So you might want to start thinking about cleaning house. This season is a wash. He don't have to be a number one. What is the number one option today anyway? All you got to do is be able to hit some shots. Because when I look at Sacramento, I do like De'Aaron. I like Sabonis and DeRozan. Who's the number one option there? So, guys, today it's not the same. I don't know what he's talking about. Believe me, if that dude can halfway play and they're gonna try to create another Larry Bird Junior Whopper situation, they'll make him. They like him. I can already tell you. Don't listen to Gil. They got a lot of money on him. They're gonna do something with Cooper Flag. He'll look better than what he is. I'll tell you like that. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. If I don't come back today, I'll be back. If I don't come back later tonight, I'll be back tomorrow and Saturday. They won, but they're not that good. They're not that good. Not that good. He stat pad last night. He had that triple double late. He was stinking it up and looking old. You ain't gonna beat nobody that's legit. You know Victor Wimby. If Victor gets any help, you're in trouble. And I'm gonna tell you something. They were very. You'll see. They're not that good. They don't look no different than when Darvin Ham was coaching. They got blowed out the last 2 nights. Well, do you think I didn't see that with what happened in Denver and with Phoenix? Can't play no defense, so I ain't worried about you. I'll be back though. I'll catch y'all though. I'll be gone. I gotta get a roll. But peace. I appreciate you. Stay safe, stay blessed. If you celebrate the holiday, the peace to you. If you don't, peace to you, the best to you. Appreciate everybody with support. Please hit the likes, memberships, sign on through. I will be back again. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay real. I'm out. Peace.